Hey folks, Gary here, doing the daily Bible reading for Tuesday morning. And yes, I'm wearing a Hawaii t-shirt, which I don't normally do this, but we're doing Cool Shirt Day. We have a VBS happening at the church. We got like over 100 kids there, which is phenomenal. But today is Wear Your Coolest Shirt Day. So I'm old, so I don't have cool shirts anymore. Well, I have some that I think are, but the kids won't think they're cool at all. So instead, I'm going to wear a shirt that I will feel cool in. In other words, the temperature will feel better as I wear this. So that's the way I'm going to take the coolest shirt challenge today. But that has nothing to do with the daily Bible reading, so let's get into it. So we're looking at Psalm 105, verses 37 and 38. And so let's read this. So as I said before, in this psalm, the psalmist is recalling all the things that God has done for Israel in the history of Israel and the Hebrews. And they are in Egypt, and finally the Egyptians have said, enough, right, because of God's judgment upon them with all these plagues. Get these guys out of here. They're ruining our country. And so let's read it. Then he brought out Israel with silver and gold. So that's God, right? So then God brought out Israel with silver and gold. Where did the silver and gold come from? Well, the Egyptians are just handing it over to him, saying, get out of here. Take this silver, take this gold, get out of here. And there was none among his tribes who stumbled. Egypt was glad when they departed. Were they glad? Well, they had a great sense of relief when they departed, right? Because of all the plagues that have been that God had brought onto them. They're like, this is not worth it. It's not worth having slaves. Let's get these guys out of here. So they were relieved probably more than anything else, but they're glad, right? Egypt was glad when they departed, for dread of them had fallen upon it. So they were fearful of the Hebrews. Were they fearful of Israel? I don't think they were so much fearful of them, because Israel was not in any kind of fighting condition at all, but they were fearful of God, who had them covered. And so I read this, and there's a lot of things in this little section here. Read Exodus, read over what takes place, because it's really an awesome story. But there's so many things in here. One is that one of the promises made to Abraham was that he would have descendants more than he can count. Well, that's happening right here. There's millions of them. But they were supposed to be a blessing to the world. I don't think Egypt would think they're a blessing. But then again, Egypt was dealing really hard. Egypt was cruel to them and oppressed them horribly. And so God has taken them away from that. So there's that aspect to it as well. You know, I look at this, and one thing that grabs me about it, I guess, the grab for today, is that no matter how bad it looks, the story's not over. No matter how hard things might be, the story's not over. God can change it on a dime. And he did in this case, which is pretty cool. So, story's not over. Watch for what God's doing.